Hi there. Welcome to a 30-minute yoga practice for hikers, runners, walkers. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm your host today, Christine Lang. I'll be guiding you through your practice. And you see I have a little friend that's joining us, and he's going to just chill during our 30-minute practice. Let's go ahead and get started. So if you have a strap, you might want to have a strap with today's practice. And this is going to be just a 30-minute yoga practice because when you hike and you walk and you run, you get really tight hips and hamstrings, and what that ends up leading to is potentially your low back hurting, your hips hurting, you have tightness in your legs. So we're going to really focus on those areas to help us loosen up and lengthen. So let's go ahead and start on our backs with our knees together, our feet wider than our hips. So the knees are just kind of turning in toward each other. Go ahead and draw the shoulders down to the surface below. Roll the upper arms from the inside out. And let's start with 3 deep breaths with our eyes closed. And just really feeling our breath, bringing our breath into the presence of our practice. 2 more deep breaths here. Find ourselves moving away from our practice, our mind wanting to wander. We always know we can have our breath to bring us back into the awareness of our practice. And return your breath to normal. And now use your normal breath and your eyes closed to just feel your body at this point. Really delving into where are you tight? Where is tension being held in the body? Maybe discomfort. And let's just swish our knees back and forth like windshield wipers. Very nice. And the feet are still wide. And then go ahead and allow the next time your knees are going to drop, allow them to drop to the right. Now your right knee is way far away. Your left thigh and left bent knee is moving straight down from the hip toward the top of your mat. And your left foot is bent and flexed. You can bring your arms out to a cactus. Let's take a nice deep inhalation here, really bringing the breath into that open left hip. And on our exhalation, see if you can relax your right knee completely and right leg, but press your left knee away from your hip and toward the front of your hip, of your mat. So you want to feel this nice opening of the whole hip space here in the left front hip, but you also want to feel in this the lengthening of the quadriceps, so that thigh muscle really opening up and lengthening. Now if you draw attention to your buttock and squeeze your left buttock, you might be able to feel an even deeper opening of the left hip in this front area. So hold your buttock nice and tight there. Keep breathing. And then go ahead and release the buttock. And in your next inhalation, draw your knees up again so your feet are nice and wide, wider than the hips. Knees are bent. And then your exhalation, draw the knees now to the left. So now the left knee is all the way to the outside of the body. You have your right knee in in line with your right hip, and your right foot is flexed. So you can see the bottom of my foot in the video if you looked up. Take a nice deep inhalation into the right front hip. And on your exhalation, really try to press your right knee toward the top of your mat. Lovely. Take a nice deep inhalation here. On your exhalation, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your right buttock nice and tight. See if that allows you to even open up your right hip more so. Keep your shoulders pressing into the surface below. Try to really relax your left leg while you're working this right hip and right quadricep. Keep breathing, keep pressing your right knee toward the top of your mat, away from your hip. Keep squeezing your right buttock. Take a nice deep inhalation here. And on your exhalation, bring both knees up once again. We'll keep the knees bent. Just adjust so that your low back is on the mat. Take a nice deep inhalation, and on your exhalation, draw your right knee toward your chest. Take the shoulder blades and allow them to release into the earth. Keep the chin to the chest. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, extend the left leg and extend it leading with that left heel. So you have your left foot flexed. Okay, nice and strong left leg that's straightened. Keep the shoulders nice and open. Okay, so you're opening the shoulders to open the chest. Take a nice deep inhalation here, and on your exhalation, if you have your strap at this point, go ahead and put the strap around the ball mounds of the right foot. Keep the knee bent still. Inhale here. On your next exhalation, begin to extend your right leg using your right heel to lead. Okay, so press the right heel up toward the ceiling. Now, your left leg is nice and strong still. That left thigh bone pressing into the surface below. Your elbows are bowed so that you can take your shoulder blades into the surface below. And now we're really leading with the heel. So we're really trying to work the heel toward the ceiling. It's okay if your knee is bent here. Hikers, walkers, runners have really tight hamstrings, generally speaking. So just really work with your own body here, trying to feel that nice lengthening all the way from the right lower back even, moving along the glute to the back of the leg, all the way through to the Achilles and the heel. Take a nice deep inhalation, grab both pieces of the strap with the right hand, bring the left arm out to the left side, palm facing up, and on your exhalation, go ahead and release your right leg out to the right side. Keep your left leg nice and active still. Allow your elbow, your right elbow, to bend onto the floor. And the tricky part here is keeping your left hip strongly moving into the surface below. You don't want the buttock to roll up off of the mat, and you don't want your left shoulder to be pulling up away from the mat. I'm going to feel a nice opening here. So when you get to a point where you can't really open this leg of yours anymore, you go ahead and press your right toe ball mounds into the strap and pull the strap into the toe ball mound. So it's like this opposing forces, and when you do that, you should hopefully feel even more of a lengthening in the inner groin. I have to tell you, I hike, and I will say that this is really tight right now, right? Because we do a lot of up and down motion when you're hiking hills, and I'm sure you get that when you run and you walk as well, right? Take a nice deep inhalation, begin to draw your right leg up both pieces of the strap with the left hand. Bring the right arm out to the right side, palm facing up. And now go ahead, bend your left knee, bring the foot to the mat. And if you can stack your hips one on top of the other, so the right hip stacks on top of the left, you begin to turn now and bring your right leg to the left. Okay, same principle here. You want to keep your right shoulder still pressing into the surface below. Keep your left leg active and flexed. Act as if you have a wall against the left foot and you're pushing into it. Keep your right shoulder moving into the earth below. Breathe here. Feel the luxuriousness of the right outer hip just lengthening and stretching. Oh, that gets super tight too. Just like before, press the strap into the foot into the strap, and see if that helps you move deeper into this stretch. Let's go ahead and inhale, bring the right leg up, bend your left knee, foot to the mat, adjust so that your low back and your hips are straight on the mat. Release the strap. Go ahead and lengthen both legs. Have the arms roll from the upper arm out. Shoulders are gently pressing into the mat, and then completely relax into this little mini shavasana as you bring awareness to both sides of the lower half of your body. So maybe you feel a difference in the right side versus the left. I tend to always feel like the leg I just worked feels longer, right? All right, we'll go ahead and bring our knees back up to the mat, or toward our chest and our feet onto the mat. Take a nice deep inhalation here. Exhale, draw the left knee toward the chest. Adjust both hips so that they're still pressing into the mat below. Pull the shoulders into the surface below so that your chest is nice and open. Feel that stretch in your right glute, right, and right lower back. All right, take a nice deep inhalation, and your exhalation, leading with your right heel. Extend your right leg flat on the mat, but now engage the right leg. So the right foot is flexed so that you're working your right leg. Take a nice deep inhalation, and on your exhalation, you're gonna grab your strap again. If you don't have a strap, you can just be here, right? You're just gonna hold, right? But you can also use a necktie if you wanna pause this and go run and get a necktie. Maybe somebody in the house has one. All right, but you want something that's not stringy, like a rubber band, okay? Because you really wanna have, be able to feel the stretch versus the rubber band, like working with you versus opposing forces. So we'll take our upper arms rolling from the inside out so the shoulder blades move into the surface below. Keep the right leg active. And now, really reach your heel up to the ceiling. Yes. Press your foot into the strap into the foot. Wow. And then this is the point at which, when you are doing this yoga practice and you breathe, you say things to yourself like, that's interesting. So maybe you thought you were a little tight, but you get into your practice and you're like, wow, so that's what's going on. I love the observation of our practice. It's wonderful. Take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, draw both pieces of the strap with the left hand. Bring your right arm out to the right side. Your next exhalation, begin to take the left leg out to the left side, keeping your right leg still very active, keeping your right hip still moving into the earth below, and keeping your right shoulder pressing into the earth below as well. You get to that point where you can't really open up anymore on that left side. You go ahead and take a nice deep inhalation, and on your exhalation, press into the strap, press the strap into the foot. Feel that even more of an opening on the left groin. And just breathe here. Notice what you're feeling. Take your mind out of it, close your eyes, and try to really experience your practice by feeling, not assigning any words to it, just engaging in your practice with the feeling of your practice. Take a nice deep inhalation here. On your exhalation, begin to draw your left leg up. Take the strap, both pieces of the strap with the right hand now. Take the left arm out to the left side. Now bend your right knee. Go ahead and begin to turn yourself to the right, stacking the left hip over the right. And then you'll extend your right leg, make it active again. And then keep the left shoulder pressing into the surface below as you try to draw your left leg to the right side. And then you'll find a spot where you're like, okay, I can't really move it any further. You'll stop there, take a nice deep inhalation. And on your exhalation, you'll press into the strap with the ball mound and the strap into the foot. Now, when you find that one side actually feels different than the other, you can always go back to the other side, okay? Whichever side, and do the other side twice. And the one side that feels good, you could just do once because you want to keep balance. Or you could just hold it longer, okay, from one side to the other. Take a nice deep inhalation, and on your exhalation, begin to bring your left leg up. Go ahead and bend the right knee. Now press into your right foot to shift your hips and your low back onto the mat. Release this left leg. And then your next exhalation, take both knees toward the chest. Open the chest by pressing the shoulder blades into the mat. Take a nice deep inhalation here. On your exhalation, try to move your tailbone deeply into the mat. So press it down into the mat. So you're really trying to lengthen your spine here, bring your chin to your chest. Slightly, I should say. So we're going to inhale here with an open chest, and our exhalation, go ahead and draw your breastbone up to your knees. Now pull your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, come down. Inhale here. Exhale, draw the breastbone up to the knees, shoulders away from the ears. Hold it here. And then exhale. Let's go ahead and make ankle circles one way and then the other. Maybe point and flex, point and flex. Allow the knees to move away from the chest, the feet onto the mat. Roll onto your right side and press yourself up to hands and knees. Okay? Alrighty, my friends. So let's just do a couple cat-cows here. So we will have our knees under our hips, our hands and palms right underneath our shoulders. We inhale, we arch the back, we pull the chest through the arms and toward the front of the mat. Exhale, go into your scared cat. Draw the navel toward the spine and chin to the chest. Inhale, work with your own breath now. Exhale. Last time here, inhale. Exhale here. Come to neutral spine. Walk your hands slightly forward toward the top of your mat. Press into your finger pads and the fingers, not just the wrist here, people. And go ahead and press into your downward facing dog. Now you should feel like, wow. I hope you feel like, since you did those stretches with the hamstrings, that you can feel a nice down dog for your first down dog, right? Take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, go ahead and draw your right foot forward, bring your left knee down. So now you're in this low lunge. Bring yourself up onto your right thigh. Press your hands away from your hips. So you're pressing into your thigh and draw your left hip forward and down. I love to do this stretch because the iliopsoas is a very deep, deep muscle that connects from your thigh bone all the way into your vertebrae. So you, or into your hip, I should say. So what happens is that you get this tightness when you're always like stepping or walking or sitting, and you can never really loosen or stretch that iliopsoas muscle, and this is probably one of the best stretches you could do for that. And then we're going to go ahead, release the right knee, take an inhalation here, exhale, bring the left foot forward, inhale here and come up. Make sure that your knee is always over your ankle, okay? And you have a nice, beautiful angle there. Press away from your hip into your thigh and open up your right hip, allowing that right hip to move down and forward. Trying to really get it a deep stretch into that psoas. Breathe here. You can close your eyes, but keep pressing into that left thigh. Pressing in and forward, if you will. Keep beautiful posture here. See if you can take your breath to that right front hip, creating space on your inhalation and lengthening on your exhalation, relaxing, if you will. All right, take a nice inhalation. On your exhalation, bring your hands to frame your front foot, and then let's take it back actually into a down dog. So however you get there, meet me in a down dog, okay? Press, press, press. Now, if you really want to work on the legs and lengthening the hamstrings, the calves, the Achilles, really helping out the low back and helping out the spine, draw the tailbone up toward the ceiling and then back. Press away from your hands, your shoulders away from your ears, relax your head. Navel moves into the spine. Inhale, take your right leg up. Exhale, swing that right leg forward. Hop your back foot forward a bit. You have a slight bend in the right knee. Come on up. And you might feel like you're in a tightrope. at this point, okay? So like, whoa, wobbly, wobbly. Just heel toe your right foot out to the right, okay? So you're opening up your stance. Now turn your hips to face the front of your mat. Take a nice deep inhalation, draw your elbows back together, hands on the waist, and then your exhalation, squeeze your inner thighs toward each other, and let's move into this pyramid pose, okay? And you can just be here in a flat back, all right? Or you can keep the chest moving forward and down, until you can't keep a flat back anymore, and then you round your back. Press into your left heel, press your right hip crease toward the space behind you. 2 deep breaths here. Let's make it 3. Inhale, bring the chest up. Bring the back foot toward the front. Exhale, draw the chest toward the thighs. Come into your full Uttanasana, forward fold. Try to see if you could take your weight from your heels up toward the balls of your feet. Yes, huh? Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step your right foot back, not like really super wide, like triangle pose. Turn your hips so that your hips are facing the front of your mat. Take a nice deep inhalation, draw the chest forward. On your exhalation, keep drawing the chest forward, but now bring the chest down toward your left thigh. For pyramid pose, Parsva Tanasana. Press into your right heel, move your left hip crease toward the space behind you to really feel this lengthening. Couple more deep breaths. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands on the mat. Press into your downward facing dog. Inhale, begin to draw your chest toward your hands. On your exhalation, take your right knee to your right wrist. Bring your left knee down. Walk your left leg back with moving your toes into the mat and taking them back. And let's come into this pigeon pose. And we'll start with our hands alongside our knee. Draw the shoulders onto the back. Take a nice deep inhalation. And on your exhalation, see maybe if you can draw your chest forward. Come onto your elbows and hang out here for a little bit. Okay? If you're a runner, this might be absolute torture. If you're not a runner, it might be torture. And if you need to be here, then just stay here, okay? It's all good. Some of you can actually get down all the way, bringing your head to the mat, and you can be there wherever it feels super yummy, because remember, at the end of the day, I just am your guide, and I'm honored to guide you through your practice, but it's your practice. Inhale, come up slightly. In your exhalation, go ahead and take your right hand in front of you. See if you can take your left hand onto your foot. Draw your heel toward your buttock. And once again, we're just kind of opening up that quadricep, lengthening the quadricep, like we did at the very beginning when we windshield wipered our legs. Couple breaths here. Take a nice inhalation. inhalation, draw the hands alongside the knee. Go ahead and press back into your downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Your next exhalation, take your left knee to your left wrist. Go ahead and bring your right knee down. Extend your right leg back, kind of toe walk your right foot away from your body. All right. And then we'll take our hands alongside another side of our knee, nice and wide. Pull the shoulder blades on the back and away from the ears. Take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, begin to draw your breastbone forward by bending the elbows out. And then walk the hands forward, either come onto your forearms, once again here, or maybe you can get all the way down. But keep, again, trying to move your breastbone forward as you bring it down. Try not to tilt the hips one way or another. See if you can square the hips. One more deep breath. Inhale, begin to press yourself up. Take your left hand to the middle of your, like right in where your breastbone is actually, in front of your torso onto the mat. And then we'll go ahead and on our exhalation, we bring our right foot back toward our buttock. And do whatever feels super yummy here. So either point the toe. Right now, pointing my toes feels so amazing, okay? Maybe you want to flex, okay? So just play with it. See what feels good. And again, one side may feel different than the other. But in the end, we want to make sure that we're in this position where our shoulders are away from our ears and we're able to just breathe through this. Try not to put all the weight on your left wrist, right underneath. Just really grip with your fingers and finger pads. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring both hands onto the mat. And then let's move into our last downward facing dog. Really trying to open up our vertebrae here, but really strongly pressing away from our hands, really using our legs to press our hip creases up and back. And then we'll come to our knees. And we will come to our back once again, my friends. All right, let's just kind of roll side to side here. So try and keep your shoulders on the mat. Right, your arms could be in a T or in a cactus. And I suggest for Shavasana, you could put a blanket or something underneath your knees. You can open up into a butterfly. Whatever feels yummy today, just go with it, right? So for me, I'm gonna move into a butterfly for my Shavasana. But I want to bring my breath to my low back and just make sure I massage it a little bit. Go ahead and extend your head back to the space behind you. Maybe you could grab your thumbs out of the base of your skull and pull your skull away from your vertebrae. Place the beautiful back pad of your skull on the mat, the chin toward the chest. Draw the shoulders away from the ears to feel a nice extension in the neck. And now it's your time to just let it all go. This is when we surrender our practice, our body, this physical asana practice, to sometimes the most difficult part of the practice, which is to allow ourselves to relax and explore the piece of our inner self. If you find it difficult to relax for any long period of time, any extended period, whether that's a minute or 5 minutes to you, if that's difficult, just start with focusing on how your breath feels in your body. Just feeling the inhalation move in your body, the exhalation moving out. And then perhaps scanning your body for any muscle, tendon, ligament, anything that's holding, gripping. Allowing with each exhalation, each of those spaces to just release, relax, soften, let go. Maybe it's your mind that won't let go. So really focusing on feeling the breath. If you would like to stay in your Shavasana for an extended period of time, I invite you to do so. Really allow yourself to completely just be in this beautiful relaxation pose. Still with me, go ahead, bring your awareness to your practice, gentle movements. And bring the knees to the chest, maybe rolling on the back to give a nice little massage there. We'll roll to our right side, rest the head on the upper arm, take a nice deep inhalation. Open the mouth. Squeeze the exhalation out as if you're squeezing a lemon, getting the last drop. And your inhalation, begin to press up and away from the floor. Bring yourself to a comfortable seated position where we will remind ourselves once again of beautiful posture. So we'll take our navel in toward our spine. We'll broaden through the collarbones by drawing the shoulders onto the back. And now down toward the waist. We lift through the crown of the head, dip the chin slightly. Bring the hands to prayer position right at the base of the sternum. Thank you so, so very much for allowing me to guide you through this 30-minute practice. I think it's a little over, but for hikers and runners and walkers. I wish you the most peaceful, joyous day. Namaste. If you like this practice, please click the little thumbs up and maybe share it, and then also see if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks.